Hey there guys, so today we have another review and you might be curious why I'm re-reviewing Bourbon County, but basically I'm doing the different ABV version. The one that I did in the previous review was a 14.3 ABV beer. And also, actually, by the way, I also will be doing a coffee blend kind of thing with the beer. You'll see what happens, but let's review this beer first. And so this one is 13.7. And so what happens is basically Bourbon County, they shove it into like thousands of barrels. I believe they're up to 3,000 or 4,000 bourbon barrels. And when they bottle the beer, they obviously can't blend all of those barrels together. They're going to have to select a certain portion and blend those together. And so since you have bourbon barrels, you're going to have different ABV between the beer, the bottling dates. And so legally, I believe they're given 0.5 tolerance on each side of what ABV the bottle can be. And so since they're doing all this blending and all that stuff, they're going to have different ABVs. So with this one, I guess it can be anywhere from 13.2 to 14.2. And this one can be anywhere from 13.8 to 14.8. Yeah, whatever. My math is okay, I think. So yeah, I'll be reviewing the 13.7 version. They also have different bottling dates. This one is bottled 10/26. This one is bottled October 10th. So it's on there, by the way. I don't know if you guys can see that. I've heard that there's differences between these two. The brewers actually talk about the fact that not only are there differences between vintages, but there are differences between bottling dates because obviously you have different blends. So it's really cool that there's so much nuance between the Goose Island product. And so yeah, let's dig in this one. All right, that's a good amount. So obviously very same color on the beer. I really can smell it, but let's get the aroma on this one. Ooh, really nice. This one already smells maybe a little less fruity. Yeah, still jam-packed with fruits. Jammy. But this one I want to say there's a little bit more espresso roast on the back end. But yeah, up front it's raisins, figs, juicy plums, cherries. There's a little bit of, oh wow. Cool. There's this note that I got in last year's vintage, 2014. It's a little bit like a charred quality, a little bit like a umami kind of quality. Yeah, certainly a little bit of umami going on. I don't think it was as prevalent in the bottle that I just reviewed. But obviously coconut, vanilla, sweet caramel, brown sugar, rich bourbon. A little bit, yeah, espresso bitterness. Cheers. Whoa. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this one's hot. Despite this being the lower ABV version. This one, yeah, I heard reports of some people saying like, yeah, the beer is so hot, and I had no clue what they were talking about. This one is got a little heat to it. Jeez, whoa. Yeah, so up front, smack with bourbon. Good amount of that like alcohol just like opening up the nose, opening up the palate. I want to say it's less jammy than, again, the 14.3. Tons of vanilla. Yeah, a little nice like tingling heat throughout the palate. Bourbon, brown sugar, chocolate, milk chocolate, lingering amounts of vanilla on the back end. I mean, it's not a completely different product, but huge chunky chocolate, a little bit of dark fruit. Mouthfeel's pretty similar. You know, it's not overly chewy, but it's nice and slick. Flies off the palate really nicely. Interestingly enough, I want to say I prefer this one. This one tastes more like a fresh beer to me. The 13.7, the one that I'm drinking right now. The 14.3 for me was, yeah, definitely a lot more nuanced. Definitely tastes like an aged beer. So there you go. Pretty interesting, yeah. Obviously, I love to do these side by side, but I'm not opening up 2 bottles. So, as in, like, that's just a lot of beer. Pretty cool. Yeah, anyway, that's my opinion. I think that the 14.3 is better. At least the 10/26 bottling. This is the 10/10 bottling. So, yeah, let's dig in. Anyway, so I was going to do something cool. And so what I've done here, this is like weird black liquid that you see here. I've basically put some coffee on the stove and made it into a concentrate. This stuff is really bitter and strong right now. Basically, Bourbon County coffee is, from what I understand, nothing too crazy, other than the fact that they're using intelligentsia, really interesting beans each year. from what I understand, they're just putting cold brew into Bourbon County. And the fact that Bourbon County coffee is so much more limited and super hard to get, and you know, yeah, the production is low on it. It's really hard to get. It's really hype beer. But from what I understand, it's really just like cold brew poured into Bourbon County. So I have a really concentrated version. I believe I reduced it from almost like 2-3 times the amount. This is very strong stuff. Again, I didn't want to use regular cold coffee because I thought it would water down the beer too much. And so we have some bitter essence of coffee, and let's yeah, I don't know how much exactly this is. We're gonna experiment here. Let's say this is 16 ounces. Let's say we have like 3. Let's say we have 3 ounces in here or something, 3-4 ounces. And be gradual with it. Get nice and mixed up. All right. Definitely not a coffee bomb, but I definitely smell some bitterness. Yeah, you definitely get a little bit of that, just like bitter, like roasty bean coffee kind of note. But yeah, it definitely doesn't pop like Bourbon County coffee. It smells more like the base beer. Cheers. Whoa. Yeah, it's a little bit different on the palate. Yeah, definitely the bitterness coming through. I like it. Maybe I'm ruining beer, but let's put in a little bit more. We'll put the rest in. All right. Wow. I'm really getting that roasty bitterness. It's coming through more and more. Didn't really work out. Doesn't really taste like Bourbon County coffee at all. You don't get this like bright, creamy. Bourbon County coffee this year is like, yeah, this just like huge explosion of like delicious brownie coffee cake dessert. Yeah, it's just the most amazing, one of the most amazing Bourbon County coffees around. This one, you know, like this homemade thing I'm doing, it's mostly the base beer, and then the bitterness just takes over on the back end. Yeah, I don't know how they're doing it in the way that they're getting all this explosive coffee aroma and all this awesome coffee flavor into the beer without watering it down too much. If you look at the ABV, I believe they only drop it like 1 or 2 percentage of ABV. So they're not really putting like a lot of volume of liquid into the beer, but they're really getting explosive amounts of flavor. And I really have no clue how they're doing it. I from what I understand, it's a concentrate of the cold brew, just like, you know, divided into half, they concentrate it. So maybe I'll have to look for a really good, crafty, artisanal coffee concentrate, but what I try to make doesn't really do the job. But hey, I was opening the bottle. I thought I'd try something fun. Cool stuff. So yeah, until next time, guys, cheers. Let me know what your opinion about this is. I saw that someone preferred the 13.7. I right now want to say I definitely prefer the 14.3. If you have the bottles, look at the back of your bottles, see what you have. Maybe you'll be surprised to see what differences between the bottles you have. So until next time, guys, cheers. Later.